Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we'll be making some turrets in Roblox. Let's get right into it. First we're going to make a base for the turrets, so let's just get right into that. Alright, so here is our very small turret. Very kind of simple. We got the base, then we got the base, then we got the turning part. Just some decoration over here. The actual turret itself, and we're going to put a player seat. So, kind of basic, and that is mostly done with the building part. Now time for the scripting part. So first, before we do the scripting part, let's go put a vehicle seat. So I'm just gonna insert an object, name it vehicle seat. This has to be a vehicle seat, not a regular seat, but a vehicle seat, and I'll show you this when we get to the script. I'll show you this when we get to the scripting part. So that's the vehicle seat. We got another part, turret, base, decoration, and bottom. There, seems alright. Time for the organization part. So we have to weld out of these, but I have a new plugin, just a welding plugin, so I can just weld things easily. Not the moon editor anymore, not that anymore. So what we're going to want to do is take the cannon part first. So, alright, so we're going to take these two parts, these three parts, sorry about that, and we're going to do a weld. There's the weld. So now all these have a weld. Let's just name these. So let's name this. You have to name the part that's going to move up and down. Rotor. Let me make sure that's right. Alright, so the part that's going to go up and down, we're going to call that rotor. And then we got these parts. Let's just name that seating area. Doesn't really matter what you call these. I'm just going to name that turret. Then this part, and so we're going to name this base, and we're going to name the floor movement. There we go. Alright, so what you're going to do is in your movement part, which should be this bottom part over here, make sure this part is anchored, and we're going to go into it, and it has a weld. So in the weld, part 0 should be the movement part, and part 1 should be the base. And the base part is actually this part over here, the part above it. Now this part should not be anchored, and all the other parts too. So this part should be the only part that is anchored. Alright, and then this part has no weld, and then we go to the rotor, which should be this tiny black part in here. We go into it, we have another weld. The weld is going to be for part 0 is going to be the base part, which is this part over here, and the part 1 is going to be rotor, which is the black part in here. Alright, so then in the seating area, we're just going to have a normal weld again. Just going to be attached to that. So these two are now together, and this vehicle seat will have a weld which will go to the seating area. So all of these are connected. This is connected to that, and then the turret actually has one weld which connects the turret to the rotor, and another weld to connect this turret to this little black thing over here that I just added. So we can, this is actually going to fire the laser out of it. Alright, so we're just going to name that fire laser. Alright, so after some tweaks, we got a good script. So what we first do is verify the variables. The SP is the model. C, we gotta verify the C, which is a vehicle seat, verify the movement, which is, we're going to name it platform, the rotor, which is find the rotor. Then we go to run service stepped, just runs the service. So then if the seat, the variable in the vehicle seat, when you scroll down you see steer and throttle, and then once the throttle equals 1, which it will if you press W or S, it will go +1 or -1, and then you would get this script will activate and that script will activate, which will make the model go up and down, the turret go up and down. And then we got steer, which will make the turret go right to left. I also named this right just to make sure that I was doing everything right. You don't need to have that, just get rid of that if you don't want it. Then over here is basically the speed of how fast you want it to go. I'm gonna leave it at these variables because I like them. These are going to be for the rotation amount, and I might have forgot to do that. Gotta change these as well. So there you go. That's it. If there's anything is that, it just doesn't do anything. So now if we come in the game, it didn't fall apart. We come in here. If we press W, it goes up. If you press S, it goes down. If we press A, it goes left. And if you press D, it goes right. And then if you go in first person, you can also see it go up and down, just like that. But now we have some sort of an issue. We can't fire anything. We can't get any lasers or anything to come out of it. So we have to actually script that. Come into our vehicle seat, or mostly just go into our script over here. Insert an object. We're going to insert a local script, and then we're going to rename this client. And this script will be going into the player once you're in the vehicle seat. Let me go do the script and I'll be right back. Alright, so now we got the script over here. Alright, so we just had this new line of code over here. So what it does is it detects if there's something new added to the vehicle seat, and then it checks if the object is a weld. If the object is a weld, then a SeatWeld, then it goes to the player, that's on it, takes a clone of our client script that's in here, the local script, and it puts it into the player's GUI, so then the script can actually run. And once the player gets off the seat, it will destroy the client script. So not in the client script. These are just a bunch of variables again. Shows the player's character, shows the player, shows gain the player as well. So then we got the input service. So then I set this to have a keybind of F. So when you press F, it will fire. Then if you're wondering, this D over here, D equals false, that's for debounce. So it doesn't keep going over and over again. You can wait like maybe 1 or 2 seconds in between every firing. So now you got the key code. If it's the key codes, then if D equals true, then it returns. So yep, goes through that, prints fire, then goes to our then it goes to a local, then it goes into a remote event, which I've put in replicated storage named fire, takes it, then it fires a server, and then debounce equals false. So now if I play the game, I go into the turret, I press F, it says fire in there. And then when I get off, and I press F again, nothing shows up. It's just that same F from before. So every time I show up on it, I can press it. When I get off, I cannot. So now we got that. But now we actually got to get the script to actually do the actual firing of it. So let me just go do that. I'm back. So I made this new script inside the script that we have. So it gets the fire from the replicated storage, the remote event, on server. We have a player function. If the player.character.human or .seat part equals the seat part, which means if it's sitting in there, if it's sitting in that certain seat, then it will fire. But first off, we have to do our variables. I just named it cannonball, just why not? The laser that we got, which is going to be the thing that's going to be coming out of the turret, and cannon spawn is going to be the turret where the turret leaves laser leaves the turret. So basically this part right here, I just added a new part. I called it laser fire. So that's just going to where it's going to come out. Then after that we got print fire, so we make sure it actually received it. Cannon clone is going to be, again, the cannonball, a clone of the laser. The laser is not going to be equal to the workspace, so you can see it. Then it's going to take the position, it's going to take the orientation to make sure it's firing the right way, and just like the simple gun that we made last video. And then the cannon spawn clone, we're going to clone the spawn, because then it doesn't move with the spawn, and then it just stays there. Just make sure to have that. The cannon clone, I'm going to anchor, yes please anchor that, while true do, and then we're just going to do this script to make sure it just keeps going forward, straight. So just takes the velocity, the balls, or I mean the laser's velocity, and it just equals the cannonball, or like the way the laser came out, like the laser fire, and it takes the CFrame of it and just look vector, just 200, so it goes 200 blocks every time. You can change the number to whatever you want to make it slower, faster, whatever you want about that. And then it's going to destroy it once this is not true anymore, it's false. So yeah. And then after that, I took the laser, put it in replicated storage, added a code to it. This just makes sure it just loads the health of a humanoid that it finds, and also this script that destroys after 3 seconds, which technically is like the same symbol gun as well. So now if we play the game, so now if we're in the game, and we come over here, we have a dummy over here just to show you that it works. Take the cannon, I take the turret, pull it over here, make sure to aim it correctly, fire, and you see it loads the health. So if I just spam it, health goes down. Just like that. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully you learned something, and bye.